Hey guys, it's Gaijin Hunter. Amatsumagatsuchi is coming back in Monster Hunter Cross, and I know what a bunch of you are thinking. What the heck is an Amatsu whatchamacallit? For the remainder of this video, to make it easier to understand, I will just call it Amatsu, and not by its full name, Amatsumagatsuchi. And here to give a demonstration of how it's pronounced with Japanese pronunciation is my lovely 6-year-old daughter Yuna.
Amatsumagatsuchi.
Amatsu is the online boss of Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, which never made its way to the West. Monster Hunter Portable 3rd had a very distinct Asian feel to it, so it makes sense that the final boss would have a name derived from Japanese words. Let's take a quick look. Amatsu comes from the term Amatsukami, which is the Japanese word which refers to the gods that reside in the heavens, versus those that descended onto Japan. Maga means calamity, and tsu is just an old grammatical word that connects things together. It sort of has the meaning of. And then chi refers to the fact that the gods and spirits of the universe are natural beings. Put this all together and what you get is a name that literally means the heavenly god of calamity. Amatsu resides specifically in the mountains surrounding the village of Yukumo, the flourishing mountain village with hot springs from Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. The village is confirmed to be one of 4 villages that are going to be making a major return in Monster Hunter Cross, so this is why we're getting Amatsu back. It has the power to control the weather around it. It can call forth storms, it can wield them, you can even ride through them. This is why the Hunters Guild has nicknamed it the Storm Dragon. Because of this, none of the guild airships actually fly around the village of Yukumo, just in case it would knock them down. Now, although there is an old tale that an Amatsu came down and destroyed an entire village in a single night, it never appears to be intentional. The sheer power of the Elder Dragons are what they are, and the fact that storms happen to follow Amatsu around is just sort of like a natural side effect. Now, in the depths of the Misty Peaks is a special map called the Sacred Mountain. This map is an exclusive map where you fight Amatsu. Now, one of the cool things is the way that they maintain the story with Amatsu. In the intro for the actual full game, we can see a small highlight of the Amatsu inside the storm, which is chasing the Zenogre. We also see in the ecology video a ship being destroyed by it when they went off to research it. And that destroyed ship is something that you can see in the actual final stage. Amatsu is covered in a whirlwind at all times that keeps it afloat in the air. So instead of flying, it actually, if you look at it, it's swimming through the air, which is pretty cool. It uses tornado breath attacks and water beam attacks during the battle. Now, the final showdown with Amatsu has a few key points that are worth mentioning. Amatsu is very well known here in Japan for having 2 unique stages to the battle, and Capcom even went out of their way to make different theme songs for each one of these forms. When you first arrive in the Sacred Mountain, you can see the remains of the ship that got knocked down in the ecology video. The song here, which we'll take a quick minute to listen to, is called The Sacred Cloudy Mountain. When you enter and the battle starts, the song that plays is called The Robe Dancing in the Gale. In an interview, the composer, Ryo Uratani, recalled that making the song was hard because he was trying to express the robe-like, almost fin-like quality of Amatsu's wings as it floats through the air. After a lot of trial and error, he finally settled on the folk instrument from Turkey called the duduk. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He found that the instrument had the perfect quality to express it, and it worked really well with all the other instruments. I have to agree. Once its health drops to 40%, the sky turns blood red and Amatsu lets out a shriek, starting the second part of the battle. The name of the music used is roughly translated as being the burning life from inside the storm. Now, combining the fact that this monster had been teased and featured throughout the entire game, once you finally fought it, all of a sudden a change in both the background art and the music made for an incredibly impressionable and powerful transition that a lot of hunters still remember to this day. Finally, Capcom even went out of their way to make a special variant of the quest clear music for this battle, and is called The Morning Sun That Shines Down on the Living. All of the songs that you are hearing have a very distinct Japanese feel to them, which is why a lot of people love them. Over and all, Capcom really went out of their way to make this a memorable fight, and they totally succeeded. Never before had a final boss been featured so heavily into the theme of the game, being both in the intro, having its own ecology, having all these things tied together, and it really created for a powerful story. As a final note, all of you that are playing Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate right now can do the DLC quest that gives you the Tempest GX set. This is actually the armor of Amatsu. As you notice, it has a very distinct Japanese Shinto design, and it's also a really good evasion set. Many hunters, myself included, did not really get to experience Amatsu, so I'm super excited that it's going to be in Monster Hunter Cross. The fact that it's so specific to Yukumo makes me think that there's an Elder Dragon boss for each village. Anyway, I hope this video helped introduce you to the monster and why it's so popular. Until next time, happy hunting.